All right, welcome everybody to this call. And today we are blessed to have a special leader onto our call today who's going to be with me together, working together to make sure that our call becomes very, very successful. We're already streaming onto our YouTube channel, the Crypto Ambassadors, and it's a palm-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to have you all onto our call. So without delay, because of time and the late minutes spent without starting, allow me usher in and present you, ladies and gentlemen, especially one of the products of the Crypto Ambassadors that I know is very good at what he talks about, has learned the art of maximizing profit from the market space, been able to go through all the hiccups, the downs of the business. And this is none other than Leader Shem, all the way from Kisumu. Sir, we have a privilege to have you on our call today, and the microphone is open for you to take us through today's session. Welcome, sir, and feel at home.
All right. Thank you, my leader, Julius. Thank you for this opportunity you have given me. Let me just set myself up. So I equally take this opportunity to welcome all members on board, all leaders present, all protocols observed. Welcome to today's presentation. My name is Shem Kiage from Kisumu, Kenya. And today I'm going to take you through our presentation in which we are going to look at the Royal Queue settings and also tackle the question and answers. But first, before I get started, I wish to know whether you are getting me loud and clear. Can you type one in the chats wherever you are? Are you getting me loud and clear? All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. So as we mentioned, keep sharing this link to many of our people to join in and to get to learn and even ask any question which they have in regard to the business which we are involved in. So I want to do a quick recap of what we went through yesterday evening for those who were not present, so that we can be able to understand how we can be able to set our robot and be able to trade effectively whenever a signal is given. Remember, sometimes we get a signal and sometimes you can pick a coin by your own self. So you need to have the settings ready such that whenever you identify a coin or wherever a signal is dropped and it is within your limits that you are going to trade it, you don't waste much time, but instead you are able to go into your robot and set your coin as you engage into your various activities. Now, allow me then at this moment to share my screen so that we can get started. Let me share my screen. All right, so we go to our Royal Queue. We go to our Royal Queue. And that is your homepage. I want to believe you are seeing that. That's our homepage. Now, we want to set our robot quickly. So what you do when you come to your homepage, what you do is that you come and tap under mine. You tap under mine so that now it can direct you. Remember, Royal Queue has different ways. Sometimes you can use a cycle. Those people have put up their strategy there, which you can use, and they charge a fee. But for us, we want to have our settings, which we can continue to develop as our trading strategy. Remember, all of us, we don't have the same capacity. Somebody has a huge capacity in terms of capital, somebody has little capital, and therefore it is good to develop a strategy which suits your trading potential, your trading capital. So we want to do that such that we can be able to maximize the potential which the robot gives us. So we will go and tap on mine, and then when you come under there, you go here where we have my strategy settings, So that's where you tap next. When you go there, under strategy settings, you'll come to this window. Here, for example, there's one strategy I've developed there, but then maybe for the new people are coming in, maybe I can delete this one for now, and then we can be able to, but if you have developed a strategy before, then what you do when you want to develop a strategy is to come under the plus sign. You tap there. But if you haven't, especially for the new people who have joined us today, then this is how your page is going to look like. Let me delete that one. And then, yes, I believe you are able to see that. Now the robot is telling you that you have not added a strategy setting. So add it now. So we tap there and then we develop our strategy. We tap there and then it brings you to this window. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you through some of how to understand these things, the parameters given there. Because remember, our robot works as per our instructions. So we are going to put up some parameters on the robot such that when you are going to trade, they are already set. Okay, so allow me explain a few things. Number one is under the risk type. Here, it gives you ways in which you want the robot to release your funds into the business. What do we mean by this? For example, look at what is given here. If I tap there under steady, you get the three ways. These are the three ways that we have: the conservative, we have the steady, and we have radical. Okay, conservative means it releases money not as quickly as possible. Steady is the normal, but radically it releases your money very fast. So we don't change anything here. What we do, we leave it in the default settings of steady. Okay. Then next, once we have done that, allow me now move down and explain the other parameters. We have here remark. Remark is where we are going to name our strategy. You put the name of the strategy which you want. You can name it whichever way. Then your first buying amount, very, very important. And this is where now it depends on the capital you have, which you want to trade. How do you come up with the first buy in amount? Depending on the capital. The beauty about the far we have come as crypto ambassadors is that we have developed settings of different capital. And therefore, when you go to the templates we have given, and some of them we are going to issue today, you discover that we have already done that. But if you have got a capital of $50, what is the first buy amount? If you have 85, if you have $100, $200, $250, 300, 500, $1,000 all the way. And today we are going to release settings later. That's maybe 1 or 2 hours after this call. We shall release settings of a capital between 2,000 and 10,000 or $5,000. But you have got $5,000 and you want to trade one coin. We are going to release them today so that you can be able to start. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, our first buying amount depends on the capital which we have. It can be 15, it can be 20. The minimum the robot accepts is around $12. So it all depends on the capital you have. So that is it. Then this one, open position. What does it mean? You see, by default, this default settings, Royal Q has switched it off, and that is good. Simply because if you put it on, It means that whenever you want the robot to buy, it doubles up the amount it put in the previous call. Let's say, for example, in this case, it put $15. It means when it's going to if we put this on and it's going to buy the next call, it is going to double this amount, making it $30. It doubles. And if it's going to buy the next, it will double this previous one, making it 60. And therefore you realize that this may not work well with us. So we leave it closed as it is set. What about the AI margin call? For now, we want it to be, it is on as per the default, but we will switch it off. This one, you switch it off. Margin call limits, this is the number of times you want the robot to buy in case the market goes against you. If the market goes against you, how many times do you want to buy? This is also affected or influenced by the capital we have. Remember, the first buying amount affected by is determined by the capital we have. Equally, the number of margin calls you are going to set your robot will be determined by the capital you have. So in the template we have shared, this number of calls is listed there. But as you can be able to see, Royal Q gives you a default setting of 7. Okay, that's the default, but we adjust this figure. What about hold position take profit ratio? Whenever a signal is given, we are given the take profit. If, for example, it is the 3%, 300 times challenge, you find that the profit is 3%. So we put that percentage here. What do we mean by this? According to the signal, or according even to the analysis you could have done by yourself, that you have entered the market at this entry point and you project that the market will rise by 2% and you take your profit. This is what you put here. Okay, either 2%, 3%, 4%, as per the signal, which is always provided. Is that okay? Is that okay? Let me know if we are following. Are we following? If you are following, type 1 in the chat. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Type 1 in the chat. If you are following, type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat. Correct, correct, correct. That's great. That's great. Okay, let's make progress. Let's continue from where we were. Okay. From where we were, let's make progress. Now, having understood hold position take profits as per the signal or as per what you have done the analysis, then we have what we call hold position take profit callback. What do we mean by this? What do we mean by this? We project that we are going to take a profit of 2%. But then sometimes the robot using the artificial intelligence is able to know that maybe this market is still in the upward trend. So it doesn't give us exactly our 2%. Instead, it gives us the maximum possible profit out of that, that trade. And that is where this whole position callback comes in. And we are instructing the robot that when the market rises by 2% and tries to fall back by 0.3, let the robot sell. But imagine this way. Imagine this way, that the market has risen and falls slightly, let's say by 0.1, and it continues to rise. The robot does not sell, because as per the setting here, default, is 0.3. So unless it touches there, that is when it is going to sell. But if not, if it falls even up to 0.25, the robot will not sell. It will continue to monitor the market and give you the maximum possible profit. If, for example, it rises up to 5%, 5%, then it tries to fall by 0.3, that is when the robot is going to sell. That is when the robot is going to sell. So this parameter, we have to set it correctly such that we are able to maximize the maximum possible profit out of the market. And I believe you have realized that when you, for example, if you want the robot to sell faster, you can even say that let it reach 3% without even coming down, let the robot sell. And you find you put here 0 as a 0%. It achieves your 3% and it sells. Sometimes you put 0.01, 0.1. It all depends on how you want the robot to trade. The next, ladies and gentlemen, is our margin configuration. There are three things here which I want to bring to your attention. Number one, the first buy amount. Number two, margin call limit. Number three, margin configuration. These three are very, very important and they go hand in hand with our capital. We have always mentioned about wallet management. This is where you manage your wallet. This is where you manage that you don't get stuck in floating loss. And when they are not properly set, then be assured that you don't maximize the profitability of the robot. And number two, you can get stuck in the market in floating loss, waiting for long. So it is very, very important to set the first buy amount correctly, the margin call limit correctly, and how you distribute your funds, which is in your wallet. All right. So I will go to that in a short while, but I want to believe you have understood that those three are important in managing your capital on how you set it. Then allow me now explain what we mean by buy-in callback. Or just before that, I can quickly tap on this margin configuration. I tap there and show you the default settings of Royal Q. And remember here, the default as per Royal Q, we are looking at 7 margin calls, but we can adjust that one. Okay, so if I tap there on margin configuration, this is what you get. Default settings of Royal Q up to the 7th call. They are there. So under this, you manage your capital. It has got 2 areas. It has got 2 areas. We have what we call the margin call drop and the multiple buy-in ratio. What do we mean by this? In the first one, we are looking at how do we anticipate the market to drop from our entry point. Sometimes you get a signal which tells you that the drop is 4%. But then you as a trader, how do you anticipate, how do you want the robot to trade in the event the market goes against you? Royal Q is telling you that the default settings is what we are giving you here, that they can remain that way. But then maybe you want it to work differently. And sometimes when you have good capital, you can allow the robot to buy as quickly as possible. And then now that, we entered in our trade at this point, we wanted to take our 3%, but the market didn't reach there. It started to go against us. So we are instructing the robot that if the market goes against us, do the following. When it falls by 3.5, buy. When if it falls by 4%, buy the second call, the third call, the fourth call, all the way up to 7th, according to the settings which we have already circulated. But allow me explain a little bit that sometimes one of the questions I know we get is that my robot is not buying. I'm in floating loss, but my robot is not buying. One of the most likely reason is again on your settings. What do we mean by this? That probably, you see, the market can fall, let's say, by 2%, and then it tries to rise. It doesn't rise up to the callback you have set, but it continues to fall again. So the robot will execute your trades as per the settings you have set. Maybe if I may go slightly back, and explain what we mean by that. You see this one here, this one here, this one here. It means we enter here, we expected to go up, the market went against us, and we are saying that if the market falls by 3.5%, okay, and then tries to rise up by 0.5%, let the robot buy the first call. So sometimes, yes, the market can fall, but then it doesn't rise by 0.5%, and therefore it will not buy because it has not as per the settings. So you have to set this buy in callback appropriately. And you know, sometimes because of our limited capital, we don't want to get stuck in floating loss. We want to use our capital, the little capital we have, so that we can maximize on the potential of the robot. So if it falls by 3%, 3.5%, and rises by 0.5%, that is when it will buy the first call. Likewise to the second one, it falls by 4.5% and tries to rise by 0.5%. That is when the robot is going to buy the 0.5. That's when it's going to buy the second call. I want to believe there you have understood, and now you can be able to set it accordingly. So those are our default settings, and I've explained that you enter, it falls, it rises, first call all the way. Now, in terms of our capital, ladies and gentlemen, our capital, this is where we allocate our money, the multiple buy-in ratio. And this is where we have different strategies. There is the double up strategy, yeah, whereby the robot always doubles whatever it bought in the previous time. And we recommend that this is the best strategy because it enables you to get out of the market faster when the market falls against you. But then secondly, we have also the Fibonacci trading strategy. What do we mean by that? That, for example, when the robot does that, let's say here it is a 3, so 2 plus 3, here is a 5, 3 plus 5, here is an 8, all the way. You continue to add. That's the Fibonacci trading strategy. We have also the +1 strategy, +1. This is 2, here is a 3, here is a 4, +1 strategy. But then again, we have also come up with our settings, depending on the capital which somebody has. $50, $100, we have those settings, and I believe you have them. But probably if you are new, you have not received this, you can ask your upline, or maybe we will circulate them again later today. So ladies and gentlemen, here we make use of our capital, how we want the robot to buy, investing our money. Okay, let me know whether we are okay with that. Let me see that in the chat. Can I see that in the chat? Let me see that in the chat. Type a yes if you are okay. Are you following? Let me see a yes in the chat. Yes in the chat. Let me see how many we are. 78 of us. Let me see if I can get 78 yes in the chat. to know that you are following. You are following. Then shortly as I come to a close, we will open up now questions and answers in terms of robotic settings. So you can prepare, don't type your question now, but we are going to open up that window shortly after I'm done with the presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how you go about it. You know, I may not go into details. Of course, we have a lesson which we cover much of this in details. This was just a quick recap of the new people who have joined us. And when you get that template, you can be able to configure. All right. Then allow me now take it forward a little bit. We have understood what margin configuration is, what buy-in callback is. Now for this one here, okay, distributed and take profit allocation. Our robot uses strategies, two strategies. We have the martingale strategy whereby it buys call number 1 to call number 4 when the market goes against you, call number 1 to call number 4, which it sells wholesomely at once. That the market, we entered the market here, it went against us, and our robot has bought call number 1, call number 2, call number 3, and call number 4. When the price has been supported, when the market has been supported and the market is going up, what the robot does, it sells everything it bought between call number 1 to call number 4, giving us a profit. Okay, but then sometimes the market can go beyond our call number 1 to call number 4. Royal Q provides you with an allowance that you can buy in the dip between call number 5 to call number 999. Very, very amazing. Very, very amazing. And you see, this is the reason why we say that you can still make profits in the dip, meaning even when the market has gone against you and it has bought call number 5 all the way going downwards, you can be enjoying profits while still in floating loss. How do we go about this? How does this happen? This is how it happens. That between call number 5 to call number 999, all these calls, they are treated independently. What do we mean by this? That if the market falls from call number 5 to call number 6 all the way, assume I'm in floating and I've bought 20 margin calls. All these calls between call number 5 up to call number 20, they are treated independently, such that if the market starts to rise from call number 20, it treats each call independently by selling each call one at a time as the market continues to rise from call number 20 up to call number 5. But then call number 1 to call number 4, it will sell everything and give us a profit. So ladies and gentlemen, when we speak and when we say that you can make profit while still under the dip, this is what we mean. We set our robot that we can be able to benefit even while still under the dip. That it will fall up to call number 20, rises to call number 19, the robot sells call number 20 and we remain with 19. Comes to call number 18, it sells call number 19 and we are with 18 calls all the way up to number 5. Sometimes it may go between 5 and 20. The market rises, it rises from call number 20 to even call number 11, then the market starts to go down again. So what do you get here? It rises, it falls. It rises, it falls. We buy low, we sell high. We buy low, we sell high. So therefore, when it rises up to call number 11, then the market starts to fall again. We are never worried as long as we have got capital which we can continue to invest. Since now the asset is cheaper, we continue to enjoy profits even while we are still under floating loss. Understood? Have you understood now? Can I see that? Type a 2 in the chat. Let me see a 2 in the chat. If that is clear, type a 2 in the chat. Let me see. Okay, for me, no. Somebody says 22222, meaning you have understood. But who is this? Somebody is saying for me, no. Precious. Precious says no. Okay. No. Precious, no. Prepare your question. We are coming shortly into the question and answer time. There is somebody here, Boga. Boga, you are saying not really. Okay. Yeah, prepare your question because shortly we are coming into the question and answers time. This was just a recap of what we did yesterday. And by the way, the same lesson is going to happen today, 5 p.m. East African time, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. East African time. Any newbies in the house, make sure you check our groups, get the link and join. There we basically talk about understanding your robot, and some of these things we can be discussed there. So ladies and gentlemen, I have now given you what we mean by distributed take profit allocation, and therefore when you tap there, you find those are the default settings, and sometimes we leave them as they are. Okay, then we have this other parameter here, the sub position take profit callback. What do we mean by this? Just the same way as I mentioned that you can profit while still in the floating loss. We mean that the market is going down, and we are saying, we are instructing the robot that we can be enjoying that when the market is going to rise, it rises by 1.3. If it's going to fall by 0.3, give us that profit. And I want to believe Leader Julius will expound more on this, maybe shortly after this, on how we can be able to enjoy or maximize the ability given to us by Royal Q to enjoy profits even while we are still under floating loss. When you come to strategy period, we normally advise we stick to one shot, but then very soon again, we will be able to discuss more on cycle. We discuss on cycle. So if I tap, for example, under that cycle, it will come to one shot. Yeah, now the default settings are there. So I want to leave it there. Remember, I've said when you get that template, you can now factor in all these parameters and continue attending. You can be able to get to know this. But then we want to dwell more on questions and answers. What is that which is affecting you in terms of your robotic settings? And once everything is said and done, later today, we are going to distribute. Maybe if you have a capital of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, those settings are coming in a short while. All right. Let me leave it at that point and stop sharing as I don't know, my leader is present. Maybe before, let me see if there is any question here before I welcome him. No, sir. Galaxy A23 says, no, sir. Wait, if I only set 4 calls, then if it falls to 5 and lower, how does the bot know to enter into that trade? All right, good question, good question, good question. Allow me go back again and share my screen one more time to address that particular question. Okay, we are going to our robot again, and I'm assuming now this one is done, so I may not save. I want to go back to the very beginning. Now, when you pick a coin to trade, you normally, you are able to know like just bought the first margin call, the second margin call, the third margin call, and even the fourth one. Now, when you go to to, let me pick just any coin here. Let me pick any coin here. For learning purposes, I'm not saying you trade. I pick WorldCoin. And then according to the signal, maybe a signal has been given of WorldCoin, I go to create. I go to Martingale's strategy bots, create, go to next. Yep, we are in that window. When a signal is given, you come to this window here. And because we had set our robot, we just go to trade settings and pick our trading strategy, which we have already preset. But then according to the question which has been asked, as you continue to, let me illustrate. When the trade starts, whatever has been invested is indicated there. The average price indicated there of the assets which we have. We have bought either to 1, 2, 3, 4 calls. The current price of that coin, it will be indicated there. But then of interest is here. Number of calls of call margin. If it buys 1, it will be a 1 here. If it is 2, 3, and 4. So what do we do? What do we do? When this robot, when the 4 margin calls have been bought, you come here, strategy mode. Strategy mode. So if we tap there, we want to see what is there. Oh, I've not already started. So if it was an existing trade, remember this is an account for training purposes. I use it for training. And our robot had already started. We had started this trade, then it will open here. When we open here, we have 3 levels. The first one is whole warehouse mode. Then the second one is real-time sub-bin mode. Then the third one, sub-bin mode, real-time settlement. Allow me explain this one for the sake of those who have joined us today. When you select the first one, what we mean by whole warehouse mode is between call number 1 to call number 4. So ladies and gentlemen, when your robot has bought 4 margin call and yet you are still in the trade, you have to come back to your robot and tap on strategy mode and make necessary changes between call number 3 to call number 4. I mean, between number 2 and number 3. Number 2 is sub-bin mode. What do we mean by sub-bin mode? Sub-bin mode means that between call number 5 to call 999, okay, we are instructing the robot that whenever you'll be making a profit between call 5 to call 999, don't give us the profit, but instead use the profit made in the dip to lower the average price and bring it closer to the current price. Sub-bin mode. Use the profits made, don't give me the profit. Use it to lower the average price and bring it closer, much closer to the current price, such that when the market retraces, you are able to get out of that trade faster. That is number 2 here, sub-bin mode. But then we have number 3, which is sub-bin mode real-time settlement. Here, we instruct the robot that between call number 5 to call 999, treat each call independently by whenever you sell any of those calls, give us that profit. Of course, the capital goes back to your wallet and also it gives you the profit. So you'll be seeing small profits coming into your wallet even when you are still in the dip and making profits between call number 5 to call 999. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure when the robot has bought 4 margin calls, come and make necessary changes here at your strategy mode between either real-time sub-bin mode or sub-bin mode real-time settlement. I believe that is answered. I believe that is answered. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome our leader, and we can address other questions, and he can also make additions here and there, and then be able to advise us. So some of the questions I'm going to respond to them there, and I believe the Julius, you've taken note of the questions. You can give your input as we make progress. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome our leader. Just a moment. Our leader, Julius. Let me see. Is he in the call? Is in the call. Leader Julius, are you present? All right. If maybe he stepped out, he will be joining us shortly. But then I will keep on checking. Then that therefore means I want to go to address your questions which you have raised. Let me scroll up and see where questions are. If you have any question. Now somebody is saying, can you help with the setting for $400 if you open 20 margin calls? Yeah, thank you. They are in our templates. Make sure you are in our groups, or you contact your leader. We circulated this one before. Yeah. Kanyanyuzi Jennifer, you are saying you are new. Yes, welcome. And keep on attending. Some things may look new, but keep on attending. You'll keep learning. But then remember, I said we have a newbie session between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. East African time. You can join us and keep on learning. Keep on learning bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay. Settings of 400 I've mentioned. What happens when the robots say it has stopped margin calls? Does it mean it is no longer working? Now, this is Nakazi Caroline. One of the reasons as to why the robot will give you that notification that it has stopped margin calls, it can be as a result of one, insufficient funds. Insufficient funds. Okay, that is the main reason it stops. That when it wants to buy in the deep and there is insufficient capital or funds in your wallet, then it will stop the margin calls. It won't stop until you add more capital and then you switch the margin call on. Okay. Let me I think I will illustrate that one. When I go to share on the robot again, I will be able to show you. How many crypto coins can I start with? It depends on your capital, but this is Kanyanyuzi Jennifer again. It depends on your capital. But if you have got like $1,000, just trade one coin at a time. 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 This will enable you not to be stuck in any given trade in floating loss. But you see, most of us, we are so greedy that we see a signal is given of a particular coin, we enter. Before even that coin delivers, as another signal is given, you also enter that coin. My friend, you'll be stuck. Because a time will come, you need more capital. There won't be sufficient capital in your wallet, and therefore you will be stuck. You will be stuck in that particular trade or trades. And that's why you see sometimes somebody is in like 3-4 calls for coins at the same time, and the person is in floating loss. So we teach you on wallet management, how to manage your wallet. It's advisable. If you have $1,000, if you have 500, whatever, trade one coin at a time. Once it delivers, the better for you. And we have seen it. We have testified. We have testimonies of people who, when others are celebrating, others are crying that, oh, mine has not sold. Why? Why has not mine sold? It is simply because of poor wallet management. $1,000, trade one coin at a time. Selling Jackson, you are asking, selling at the same time versus independently. I think I illustrated this one correctly. And I said that between call number 1 to 4, the robot sells all of them at the same time. Remember, I mentioned that you enter into a coin and you are taking 2% as your take profit, for example. So when it rises from up to 2%, it will sell everything it bought between call number 1 to call number 4. Sometimes it may not even go beyond call number 5. It can buy even 2 margin calls and the market is supported and starts to rise. So whatever it has bought, that is your first buying amount plus the first and the second or whichever between call number 1 and 4, it will sell everything. That is what we mean by whole warehouse mode. But independently, that is for call number 5 to call number 999. Joan Induga, you're asking, what's the time frame of a signal? Time frame of a signal. Signals are issued as many times as possible depending on the market. You can get 2-3 signals in a day. If the market is good, you get so many signals coming in. But then we advise you as a trader, trade one coin at a time. So if you pick a coin to trade as per the signal given, when the other signals come, let them go. Let them go until that particular one delivers. But if you have got like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, then you can make your independent decisions. Like you can allocate 1,000 per coin, 1,000 per coin. If a signal comes and you see you have enough capital, you can pick another one. All right. Now with $100, that is money online. With $100, with regards to the settings given, how does one know where to take double up, Fibonacci, or +1? I get confused on which settings to implement. Okay, I think we have a lesson on Royal Q presets and wallet management. Yeah, attend this lesson, and I think it happens on Monday. On Monday, 10 a.m., Money Online. Attend that one. We will discuss on this, on how you manage your capital, and how which strategy to use. These strategies have factored in, like double up, Fibonacci. For double up, for example, you need like 5. You need to follow the settings we have given. Okay, Hadija, you're saying please throw more light on whole position take profit ratio and position take profit. Whole position take profit ratio. Okay, I don't know, was this answered? I see there's somebody who has replied to you. Okay, and give you a profit. I think if you are not okay with that answer, kindly get back. We explain. Okay, how to open more margin calls if the coin is in floating loss. Okay, maybe I will go to that when I make a visit to the robot again. Okay, Boga, you are new. Yeah, keep on attending. All right. Margin configuration settings. Yes, we are going to share. Precious, we will share this margin configuration settings for each coin, capital capacity which you have. Arafat, you are new. Keep on attending, and please join us in the evening, 5 p.m. East African time. Okay. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen now. How many margin call? I think Alina Boina. Yeah, I have tackled that question. What if a coin stays long in floating loss? Can't I sell it at a loss and enter a call which likely to give good profits? No, you see, now you have become a robot. Okay, don't sell. Let the robot work for you. The only thing you need to do is to open more margin call if you have capital. Why do you want to lose money by selling manually? But you know the risk is upon you. You sell, you lose. And we don't want you to start saying that the business is not working. It is you who has a problem, that you want to get money quickly. Why don't you be patient? Remember, in this business, we give you three things. You buy, you wait, and then you sell. Buy, wait, and sell. And most of us, we have a challenge when it comes to waiting. We are not patient. We teach you on how to become patient in one of our classes, okay? How to be patient, how to have a changed mindset so that you can wait. You buy, you wait, and then you sell. The beauty is, once you have set your robot correctly and you have got capital, you don't have to worry. Just do your other activities and let the robot work for you. All right. Let me see if I'm going to share my screen shortly when I take you back to the robot again. I'm just trying to see if okay, somebody's asking, should we always wait for the signal? What if they take a day to come? Yeah, one of the things, remember when I started, I mentioned that you can trade using the signal or you can pick a coin to trade by yourself. And I think when I will be able to go back to the robot again, I can be able to explain that one. How easily can one solve a coin which is stuck? You inject more capital. But remember, I've already mentioned that you don't have to the only thing, how to solve, just bring in more capital, put in more capital, and then open margin calls, enjoy profits while still in the floating loss. Okay, I hope polite you are getting that. Put in more capital into your wallet, open margin calls, configure it accordingly, enjoy small profits even while you are still in the dip. What happened to the profit made from the sub-bin mode? Do you get it when the coin completely comes out of the market, or you lose it? There is no loss here. There is no loss here. Remember, in the sub-bin mode, I mentioned that you instruct the robot that when it makes a profit in the dip, it doesn't give you that profit, but it uses it to lower the average price. So it is reinvested, all right? It is reinvested into the market again to continue bringing the average price closer to the current price. 400 settings I've already mentioned. Yeah, Irakoze, you need more information. And I think it is being streamed. I think our leader is streaming live. So you can go and watch this video again. I am confused between sub-bin mode and sub-bin mode real-time settlement. How are you confused? I said in sub-bin mode. Let me see the replies you have gotten there. Okay. So I think that is okay. You have gotten that answer. Don't be confused. I've mentioned real-time settlement, how it works, and the sub-bin mode, right? So that is correct. Okay. How do you tell if the robot has finished trading if you want to take another signal? You get a notification. That it has sold. It has sold. A notification comes in that it has sold whichever coin you are trading. All right. I've addressed majority of your question. Now let me go to the robot one more time. I want to go to the robot one more time. And if our leader is present, she can notify me. Leader Julius, when you get in, you can always let me know. But I'm going to the robot and share my screen and then address some of the issues which you have raised. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay, we go to our robots one more time. We are there. At this particular point, let me see if there's a question to address here. I want to go back to home page, address the questions which have been raised there. Now, somebody was asking that, how do you pick a coin? How do you pick a coin? Do you have to wait for the strategy? When you go to your robot, ladies and gentlemen, we have different, these are the three markets we trade in. Yeah, BTC, Ethereum, and USDT. The USDT market is volatile, and we trade mostly in the USDT market, such that we can be able to accumulate more USDT, which then we can use to invest in the bull run. Okay, so when you go to the what you are seeing here, we have the currencies, the various cryptocurrencies. This is the last price, and this is the price change in the last 24 hours. So sometimes this one requires Suna to be smart. You tap on the on this price change. When you tap on it once, it will bring the best performing coins in the market at that present time. You tap again, it will bring the worst performing coin in the market. So let me do that. I tap on change once, you see, it brings the best performing coins. As you can be able to see, IDEX is now with at 10%. Okay, seemingly it is in the uptrend. And if I tap on that icon again, it will bring the worst performing coin in the market. And you can be able to see that the world coin, USDT, is at negative this. So there's a strategy which we teach that you can pick a coin which is worst performing and trade in it comfortably and take maybe your little profit of, let's say, 2%. For example, as you can be able to see under WorldCoin, it's at negative 6.7. It was 7.1, now it is 6.3. Let me tap on that coin and we just have a quick look on how it is behaving. But I'm not saying you trade. Remember, this is learning purposes. We are learning. So the time frame, are you able to see this? This is the time frames. Okay, time frames, 15, 1 hour, 4 hours. And in the 15, you can see that WorldCoin is coming up. But then that is not enough. So you can even scroll up and you are able to see other signals. Yeah, at the bottom there, at the bottom here, you can see indicators which are there. So you can juggle around and be able to make an informed decision. Remember, we have other classes where you learn on how you can be able to do this. So once you pick the worst performing coin and then come and look at it in this chart, how is it? For example, if I tap on the RSI, hey, how is it? You see, under the 15-minute trading cycle, it is pointing upwards. How is the KDJ? How is the MACD? Okay, yeah, is it about to close over? How is the Bollinger Bands? How are they? Yeah, and then you can make an informed decision. You can enter that particular coin and pick your 2%. I want to believe that one is understood. That one is understood. And if you have not understood, you let me know. But our time is running out. We have the strategy here. And that the person who was asking for notification, you can see up here. You can see at the top here. We have this and we have the bell. This bell here is where we get the notification that if a coin is sold, you will get an alert there. At the same time, if maybe your gas fee has gone down, you'll get that notification. If margin calls have been stopped, you will get that notification. And then you take necessary action. Allow me pick that world coin again to illustrate on something. Okay, remember I said you create your bots. Okay, create your bots. Martingale strategy, create. Go to the second, that is the next. I hope we get this, that we pick this one, that you are free to create your own strategy, which is more flexible because we can adjust it accordingly to the capital which we have. So you tap on it, it brings you here. And when we come here, I've explained quite a number of things. Somebody was asking about when you get that notification that it has stopped the margin call. So what will happen? You'll find that this one is switched off. Remember, this one we always put it off. This one should be off all the time. AI margin call should be off. But then when you have insufficient capital in your wallet, we have this one, it comes off. So what you do, once you have put in money into your wallet, then you come adjust the margin calls, okay? And then switch this one on. It will continue to buy and sell. Then there was that question that how do you adjust those margin calls? I want to address it too. You tap on your trade settings. Trade settings. I want to believe even here, let nobody be confused. We have two types. We have manual and smart create. We were doing our settings manually. So make sure that is where it is, and then you put up the settings. So what you do when you want to buy more in the dip, you come and do the computations or as per the settings we have already provided. Make an adjustment here. Let's say you had set between call number 1 to call number 4. You can now come, remember it was here as a 4. It was a 4 here. But then you have realized that your robot has already bought the 4 margin calls. So what do? You come and adjust here according to the capital you have, and maybe you want to add 3 more, 7, or you want to add 8, or you want to add 10. Okay, so when you do that, then you come and tap on margin configuration. You tap on margin configuration, and then between now call number 5 to the one you have already set, call number 5 all the way to call number 10, you make adjustments. You can say, like, let the robot be buying when the market falls 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, let the robot buy 1 times, 1 times, 1 times, according to the settings we are going to share in a short while. I want to believe, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to go. Ready to go. Let me see if my leader is back. Yeah, Leader Julius, if he gets back, I think he can raise his hand. I can be able to allow him to chip in. Okay. Meanwhile, let me look at the chat to see if there is any other question, any concerns. Now, there's somebody here who is asking if I have no capital to add for the stopped margin calls. Yeah, if you don't have any capital to add, just wait for the market to retrace, to come up, it will sell. But then this is now we say, don't just sit. Open your mouth, share this Royal Q opportunity. Tell somebody about this business, even when you are in floating loss. Don't keep quiet. Don't sulk that, oh, my money is stuck. No. Go out and reach to somebody else, even when you are still waiting for the trade to come up. Okay. Okay, let me see. Yeah, go to our YouTube channel, that is Crypto Ambassadors. The meeting is being recorded there. Sub in mode again, Kate. Somebody is asking, is return rate same as dipping stroke call drop? Return rates. What do you mean by this? remember we said that the take profit, for example, is 2%, but then the market is going against you. And when the market is in the dip, you can still be enjoying small profit. And maybe let me illustrate that one. Let me illustrate that one. Let me illustrate that one. I want to illustrate that one. I want to illustrate that one. I share the screen quickly or my whiteboard. Let me see. Let me share my screen so that I can be illustrating these things even as we make progress. Now, somebody was asking a question, and is asking this question that what is the return rate the same? Okay. Return rates, I said this. Let's say, for example, you have entered this market here, it has gone against you, it's going down. And we are saying between call number 5 going downwards, you can be enjoying little profits. What do we mean by that? That if it falls by the what we have said, maybe 3.5%, let the robot buy the first call. It falls, and we have bought like 10 margin calls. We can be enjoying this journey from call number 10 all the way up to call number 5. So in between here, we have the distributed profit allocation that we have said it is 1.3, that when the robot will be, it continues to buy, but if it rises by 1.3 and tries to fall by 0.3, we pocket 1%. 1%. So imagine you can be enjoying 1%, 1% even while you are still in the dip. I want to believe that is understood. Okay. Okay. Let me go a little bit upwards and see if there is a question I've not addressed. It's have been moved. Yeah, that is good. Let me go to this latest question here. Is it right to adjust the call drop percent at less than 1% from number 5 margin call? Less than 1%. Yeah, you can juggle at it. And I think Leader Julius is organizing for that lesson on how you can maximize. Remember the default settings of Royal Q is that the distributed is 1.3 and the callback is 0.3. So the market rises by 1.3 in the dip. When it tries to fall by 0.3, it gives you that one. But then Leader Julius is going to give us that training about how to adjust this and this so that you can be able to maximize or even make more profits out of that journey while you are still in the dip. Then there's this question here. I'm stuck on one coin at $815 in its drawdown now is 30%. I recognize what settings I did. All right. Do you think 800 I have now can save me from that situation if I open margin calls? This one, yes, it will save you from where you are. Only that it depends. It depends on the following. You know, it buys call number 1 to call number 4 as the market continues to go down. Now, this 30% drop, are there other calls the robot has bought for you? Or it is stopped at call number 1 to call number 4? Or maybe you entered in this trade at once with all your $815 at once, and therefore it has not bought any margin call and you are still stuck. So these are some of the things I may want to know. Eric, if you can clarify that one, I can be able to respond. And that is why now we teach you that don't enter with all your 815. Start as low as with your $20. Okay. If the market goes up, there is what we call manual replenishment. if you realize that this market is not going to go down and you are sure it is not going down, you started with the 20, it is going up, we do what we call manual replenishment, such that you can make use of your 815. But then you enter that way, make use of your 815 in case the market goes against you. Okay, Kate, you are correct. Thank you, members. I want to believe now we don't have any other question. We don't have any other question. Okay. We don't have any other question. I want to see if there is any other concerns. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for coming. You have been good students. Thank you so much. And I want to welcome one of our leaders who is present here. I think to wind up the meeting for us. But before that, let me quickly check again if somebody has dropped a question. Can I open 7 margin calls using 200? Yeah, why not? Actually, the settings we have for $200, they go up to 20 margin calls. 20 margin calls for $200. So when you get these templates, it will be able to assist you to configure your robots. How do you know that it is going up and you do manual replenishment? It is per the analysis. Attend our 7:30 class where we empower you with the skills on trading. You can be able to analyze that coin in the market and know that, yes, we have entered here and it is in an upward trend. It is pumping. And if it is pumping, then you inject, you do manual replenishment so that you can be able to enjoy the capital you have put into the business. Okay. Yeah, templates, Madam Billionaire. Make sure you are in our groups. Make sure you are in our groups so that you can get those settings or even contact your upline. You can always get that. Okay. Eric, Eric, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring this meeting to a close. Thank you so much for attending. Allow me now welcome one of our leaders, Leader Chadwick Bwibo, to conclude this, to make a few remarks and then end the session. Otherwise, thank you so much. Keep on attending, keep on coming. And those who are newbie, whom I can see they're saying they're new, they're asking questions. We will drop a link in our groups on the 5 p.m. East African time meeting, and you can be able to learn the basics about Royal Q. Thank you so much. Leader Jadwick Bwibo, welcome on board, sir. Yeah, seemingly Leader Chadwick is engaged. So allow me to thank each and every one of you for joining us, and hope to see you again in our next call. Otherwise, God bless you, God keep you, keep on trading, keep on making money. And remember, action takers are money makers. Go out, share the Royal Q opportunity, and keep on trading as per the knowledge we are giving you. And when you are stuck, always make sure you ask your upline, or even in our groups, ask and you'll always be assisted. Bye bye for now. Thank you. See you in the next call.